to Pilates. Turn my shirt inside out, throw on a sweatshirt.
Flooded
So,
with kids in it.
uh-oh. Because I needed to try to dress it up a little bit for you guys. Well, hey, everybody.
Hey.
Look at all these beautiful people out here.
Yes. All right, guys.
If you're in Chicago, I hope you're staying warm because y'all know it is cold.
It is very cold.
Cold here.
It is cold.
And despite all of that, we still came out to do
We
this
did, because we love you. All right. Well, let's get this party started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So everybody can relate to this. You know, we are a demographic of 50 and plus, so everybody has had relationships or 12. And but when you're when someone has crossed a line or crossed one of your personal boundaries, then the relationship can either grow or, or end. So we're talking about crossing lines and boundaries in romantic relationships.
So I don't know if it is just either it can grow or it can end. I think that it could do a whole bunch of things in the middle. I think that when you go into a relationship, in your mind, you need to kind of visualize what that relationship is going to look like moving forward. At least that's how I, and I feel like I don't want anything that's typical or commonplace. And I don't want to be treated typically or commonplace. I want to be, revered. I want to be respected. And I want to obviously give that back. And so when I think about crossing lines, I think about like those two things not happening anymore. And it may be like a fleeting kind of argument that something can happen. Or it could be a buildup of things.
What two things not happening anymore? You're not feeling.
I'm not revered. I'm not respected. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I think like, I'll give you an example. Like if someone were to call me out of my name, that's like a deal breaker for me.
Okay.
You can't call me a bitch. You can't call me, a motherfucker. You can't call me those things because my name is.
I'm laughing because it sounds so preposterous, but there are some relationships that are like that.
My name is Janae,
right.
And I believe in my heart of hearts that if you step over that line, if you cross that line, personally, I feel like you have altered the DNA of our relationship. It no longer is healthy. And it's the cells of this relationship have morphed into something that is no longer going to be good for me.
So would it end?
I don't know. It's never happened to me before. I've never been called out my name.
So I stand on this. If someone crosses your personal boundaries, either your relationship is going to grow because you're going to talk about it, because sometimes people cross boundaries or cross lines because your lines weren't really clear. They didn't really understand. Sometimes people don't mean to cross boundaries or cross lines. But so then you need to discuss the boundaries. You need to discuss your lines. Like, this is how I feel about this. Like, it could be something as simple as, when I'm asleep, I'm not taking any phone calls. Like, don't wake me up because I have to get up at 2 a.m. for work. So don't wake me up. So so you have to make it clear. And I would imagine if somebody called you out of your name, the relationship probably would tank. It would probably tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think, Gary?
It has a different meaning for me. I mean, when I think about boundaries and relationships, the first thing that came to my mind was that, when does the condom come off? That was the boundary in a relationship, that, man, I don't really know you. We haven't been tested, man, blah, 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 blah. But at some point in a committed relationship, that I want to feel it without the condom.
Right.
And so, what does that look like? That's a conversation that's probably in this day and age going to get tested together.
I agree.
And
absolutely
with that.
And when that was what came to mind. And I've shared this, I'm going to go away from that, but I've shared the story about the time that I called a woman out of her name. I've shared it with you all before offline. And it was,
She heard you?
oh, she definitely heard me.
Okay.
And it wasn't, I'm not, it made me stop using that word.
That's how you got that cauliflower ear. No, just
No,
kidding.
no. It made me stop using that word, even in joking or in passing.
What word was it?
Well, we were actually in the act,
Oh,
and she was,
were you role playing?
no. I think in my mind, I felt like she wasn't giving it her all, and I was like, come on.
You said bitch?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I might have punctuated it with like, come on, B, damn.
So you were frustrated. It wasn't one of those terms of I'm calling you that in some
It's
sort
my
of
bitch.
affectionate
Yeah, like
way.
if you could even.
No,
if
I
you
mean,
can,
That's
right? But
There's no way that I could spin that to where that's what it was. I mean,
you were mad.
there was certainly a part of me that was frustrated, but there was also a part of me that was very comfortable in that language. Comfortable
With her or just
In general.
probably in general.
Okay.
Because if it slipped out, something can't slip out that I never do. I mean, it's not like I have Tourette's.
Right.
I'm just not spewing stuff.
Right.
So in order for me to do it, my level of comfortability, I was kind of there already. Even if I hadn't ever done that to her before, or
Was it like a record scratch, like, and everything just stops
yeah, I
when
mean,
she
she
was like,
stop mid-stroke,
get off
like,
me.
Get off me, stop.
Right.
Right.
Like she was gonna call security or something. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, that's what you get.
I mean, I'm not. I'm definitely.
I was expecting something profound.
Right.
He said, that's what you get.
No, I mean, I'm not in it for any sympathy or anything like that. I did.
You're not gonna get it.
No, I learned from it. I grew from it. It made me a better person, if there is a such thing as that. I mean, I certainly don't use that word.
Yeah.
Or, I try it with all of my heart not to ever use that word, because I don't want my level of comfortability to ever let that slip out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question because according to Kimmy, you either grow from this or it ends. So did the relationship end?
Not in that moment, but it was, it was
It was
a
never the
downward
same.
spiral.
And so that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to like, it's over, but it can be a
Yeah, that's
downward
what I mean.
spiral. It
That's
will
what I was
either,
talking about.
it's a slow death.
It
You know, when-
It changes
Yeah.
the trajectory, the
Yeah.
DNA.
Yeah. Because you will
Yeah.
either grow or not.
She
If
definitely.
you're not growing, you're dying.
She definitely, her heart wasn't in it the same way, and I felt, bad.
Did you apologize?
Oh, profusely.
Okay.
And I tried to get around it, and her heart wasn't in it anymore.
So let me ask you this. So really, you crossed a line because, like Jay said, you were frustrated. So then, was there a conversation? Because when boundaries are crossed, conversations need to be had. So
I guess you tried.
Was there a conversation?
Convers-
Not necessarily apologizing, but just like, this is what I need sexually.
Conversation involves two people.
Okay.
She said
Totally
what she
agree.
had to say, and
Yeah.
I said what I had to say. She was like, damn, that's how you really feel about me. And I didn't really have a comeback in that moment, and that's strange for me because I'm pretty good with the quips and the comebacks. So I didn't. I was kind of like,
Or you were being cardboard. That's what in your mind.
it wasn't that she was being cardboard, because I don't want to reflect in a way that wasn't necessarily what happened. She just wasn't giving me the angle that I needed,
Literally or figuratively?
literally. And
It's like, do the Simone Biles.
right. Hold your damn leg behind your
Oh
head.
my God.
So no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was frustration. It was. It wasn't that she was just laying there. I mean, it wasn't. I wasn't getting corpse.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was definitely, I wasn't able to I'm trying to. This is a family show.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
I wasn't necessarily able to do all I thought that I could.
Okay, so she was limiting you. Is there any examples that you may have in your history that, because you don't do this now, of course, but where you were able to navigate from crossing the line? And in crossing the line, for me, is also cheating. Like that's a big line. Like,
I mean, cheating is a whole nother subject. I mean, you have to want to, you have to want to
move past it.
move past it.
Yeah.
And you have to be, willing to, I mean, cheating is a very selfish act. So you have to kind of
Yeah.
get over that selfish part of you, of what I want and what's important to me, and how can I remedy this? How can I fix this? And not in every instance, and I don't mean like there were hundreds, but not in every instance that I cheated, was I necessarily sorry about what I did. It happened. And it wasn't their fault. It wasn't my fault. It was, more indicative of where I was as a person, what was available to me, and what I was willing to do and risk. So not every cheating situation was I repentant.
Yeah. I mean, there's just some big things though here. Like, you may not have felt remorseful, but you were still in a relationship with this other person. So because you're talking about your feelings, what about what you did to that person, the pain that you caused that person? Does that play into how you move?
Absolutely. If I am trying to continue the relationship, then I am very aware of those things. But if I am not trying to continue the relationship, so I mean, it happened.
Just,
I can't, because I don't.
but
I
that's
don't,
not really crossing a line and boundary. Like he's, that's kind of almost just
you don't care at that
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Not every cheating situation, at least in my experience, has it been something that a boundary was crossed. I mean, it was like, okay, let me start this thing so it can cascade down and I can get out, or I just don't care no more.
I would say like buying them. I'm not.
See, if you mention that,
But that's a financial boundary of crossing a line. It is.
It was no discussion. And for you all who are listening, in a past relationship, Gary cohabitated with a woman. Probably was on his way to being engaged if he wasn't. And as
He was real
a get
close.
back, he decided to go into the joint account and buy a motorcycle. No
Those
conversation.
things are like
you know.
$15,000.
Yeah. To me,
Yeah.
that's
it was
about
20, but who's counting? But I mean, God, you all are never gonna let me live that down.
Yeah, well,
But
you
that's crossing a line though. It's
and
a
you said
financial
it yourself
boundary.
that if you are going to stay in a relationship, if there's some sort of cheating or some sort of line that was crossed, you have to
Impropriety.
want to get past it. But in your mind, you said, "I want to get you back."
In that situation, absolutely.
Yeah,
And I wanted a motorcycle.
And you wanted a
motorcycles
motorcycle.
are really nice.
it was just an opportune time to get one, right?
They were on sale. That's always the line that I got when stuff was bought out of the budget money.
Who feels like in the sofa, lying is crossing a line? It's a boundary.
I mean, yeah.
I don't like lies.
Yes and no,
I
because
Yeah, I mean it's a
There-
lot. Yeah.
there are things sometimes that some people ask that they want to be lied to. Does this dress make me look fat? You know damn well it makes you look fat. You bought it in the big girl section. I mean, it has a letter. It doesn't have a number. What do you
Oh
want
my
from
goodness.
me? So, but there's some things that we have to do. I mean, you lie to your kids. That was a beautifully played piece at your recital.
I think so. Lying is just that. It's lying. It's deception and all of that. But I think that if it happens and you talk about it and you're like, okay, this is what I need. These are my boundaries. Like don't lie to me about this. Don't lie to me about that. Don't tell me that we have this much in our account and this is what we're doing because we're saving for a home and you're sending your mother
$3,000 a month.
$3,000 a month for for tires or furniture or just don't do that. So those would be, those would be. I mean, they're lies, but they're, or are they? Or are they lines or boundaries? I don't know.
It has been my experience when I really cared in relationships. I didn't want to lie in any form through omission, and I mean I've
I was
gotten
just
over the
thinking
years.
about that.
I've gotten pretty adept at it over the years, and how not to say something or how to say something, and how to conceal things and all of that sort of stuff. I mean, I told you all the example about when I was buying the clothes and it wasn't in the budget, and I would ball them up and put them in the cleaners and bring them back in the
That's
cleaners
hilarious.
plastic. So I mean, as I've gotten older, what I do is what I do. And if I care about somebody, I'm not hiding nothing. I'm not lying through omission. I'm telling everything.
I totally agree.
What are your
boundaries?
Because I hear you saying, if I do this, if I do that, is what I do. Like basically I'm grown. I ain't gotta lie. I ain't gotta do anything. But do you have any lines? Do you have any boundaries that if someone crosses them, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
It's relationship altering.
if somebody is late all the time for no good reason.
Yeah, you consistently have said that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
just, I think it's disrespectful. I think it's a waste of my time. I think that it is inconsiderate. It is so many different things that, it shows me that you don't have the ability to plan and execute against your plan. Because if we know that we're doing something at 5 o'clock on February 29th, there is no 29th, but you know this now and you're going to be late.
So if to make you happy in a relationship, one just has to be on time.
That's one of the things. I mean, there are many components, and I mean, nobody can ever make me happy. Happy is something that I get of myself.
Okay,
So-
you're taking it way out of context.
He's being literal.
He is being very literal. But if someone, we already know if they're not on time, then that's a problem. Like I named 3 deal breakers. You cross these lines, it's a problem. These are big problems for me. You don't have any besides
About
punctuality, right?
Be on time. You can do whatever you want. Just goddamn
You
it,
can lie if you want to. You
Just be
can,
here at 8 o'clock to do it.
Because I mean, people are gonna mess stuff up, So I don't.
but you can't mess up time.
You can't mess up time. Because I mean, that's something that you actually can control to a degree. I mean, I get that things will happen. I get that.
You can control lying.
Okay, but I'm not. That's not gonna trip me out. I mean, I'm gonna be
I
mad.
see.
I'm gonna be mad, but I'm not gonna. It's not. It doesn't end the world for me. I mean, it doesn't begin there. It doesn't end there.
But if you're late, you gotta go.
Well, you're not gonna have to go. I mean, we're gonna talk about it. I'm not like getting a running start and kicking you out the door. No, hey, man, this is important. This is why. Here's here's what should have happened. Here's what did. Let's try to close that gap. So I'm gonna work with you. I don't. That's not a instant deal breaker. Stuff happens. I mean, I get it, but I'm not. Every time you can't be late. No.
So, okay. Well, I were you done? I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know that you have your those two, respect and what was the other one?
Calling you out
Lying,
your name.
cheating, and right.
No, you said
Disrespect
calling her out her
them.
name. That's yeah. So I do have a couple of boundaries and lines that can't be crossed, and one of them is even on my social media. So on my social media, I post pictures like when I'm on the beach because I'm a beach girl and a bikini. But if you put an eggplant up there, or if you and I've been on social media, which for I don't know, like 12 years or something, 10 years, I can't even keep up. But if you send me a dick pic, you're blocked instantly. If you put an eggplant up there, you're blocked instantly. So I don't do that. Like social media is like, it's fun and it's a way for me to keep in contact with friends and that I don't see, and it's a way like everybody else. Like it gets, it enables me to visit and drop into your life and say, "What's Gary doing? What's Janae doing today?" That type of thing. So it's that, but it's also a business for me. So because I have contracts with companies for makeup and skincare and things like that. So if you do anything that presents negatively, I'm deleting it and I'm blocking you. And because it's not just about my brand, it's about like who I am as a person. Like I don't think I put myself out there like, oh, I'm the good time girl. That's not who I am. So you're not going to come at me like that either. And similarly, if I'm on a date with someone, I have my personal space, so like on a date and we're getting to know each other. My leg may look good to you, but there's not going to be any of this. So that's like my personal space is mine.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, so I do. I have lines, I have boundaries. That's who I am. Like, and I'm, like everybody now is talking about, other than the Aaron Pierre dance, because, I can do that. Because that's a two-step. I got that.
Dance.
But
Aaron Peter is.
He's this kid.
It's okay. I believe
it. He's Mufasa in the remake of The Lion King. So, but at any rate, I was gonna say, I forgot what I was gonna say.
You were talking about your boundaries and how
people now are talking about
touching you.
Right. People now are talking about celibacy, and everybody's very, like Lauren London has been celibate for 6 years or something like that, and no, I'm sorry, not Lauren London, Maya.
I was about to say,
Yeah, no, Maya, the singer Maya, 6 or 7 years. So people are very proud of that. I am proud of the fact that it's been 2 years for me. So so you can't come to me thinking that, oh yeah, because you see me in a bikini in social media, that you're getting some. That ain't happening. We need to get to know each other. There has to be a relationship. There has to be something that has been established. There has to be feelings involved. It's a process. So, and I'm not a prude, but there are definitely rules and that I abide by, and boundaries, and so there is not going to be any of because ain't gonna be none of that.
I remember years ago I was actually on a date. This is many years ago. I was on a date. I'm not even sure if I had kids. I'm not sure, but I do remember that the guy would not stop trying to touch me from over the table. It was just insane. So I literally was like, I have to go to the bathroom. I took my purse and I asked the people, do you have a back door? Because I drove myself. Do you have a back door? And I left. Like, I felt like I was being attacked.
Right.
I felt very unsafe, I guess is a better word. And yeah, I had to bounce. So I get that.
Understandable.
Kim, I wanted to ask, because people, really are not aware of some of the boundaries sometimes, and people do basically what they're allowed to do. So if a person oversteps their boundary and it's a hard stop for you, does that person have the ability to recover from that?
It depends on who that person is. So if it's a person that I care about, absolutely, we're going to have a conversation. But if it's just some random stranger that is on social media, no.
Okay.
You're blocked.
Okay.
There's no discussion. Not interested. So, but if it's a person I care about, yes, because everybody's not perfect. And like I said in the beginning, people can cross boundaries or even hurt your feelings unintentionally. But that doesn't mean, like I can say something that may hurt your feelings, but I don't know it. And that wasn't my intent. But that doesn't mean it didn't hurt your feelings just because it wasn't my intention.
According to you all, I'm emotionally handicapped.
Well, you are.
I don't know what you are exactly, but it's something.
See.
But like seriously, like if somebody can do something that can hurt your feelings, but that wasn't their intention. But that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt your feelings. So you have to talk about it because so lines can be blurred. All and lines are blurred, but you have to make it clear.
Well, I mean, and I agree with everything you're saying, except if it was somebody that you cared about, and then they jumped out their whole body, and perhaps they hit you. To me, we don't really have to have a conversation about that.
No, well,
I mean, like, I don't care.
that is a form
That's
of touching.
That's a hard stop. That's a line. That's a boundary. Yeah, we could just.
I think that we all could agree that any type of physical.
Well,
violence,
it's not for everybody, babe. People stay into
Even touching me in
relationships.
But I don't think that there's
After
a
that.
person that like, man, I need my jaw knocked out of the socket.
Well, not even,
Of
but
course not.
even touching me in anger, like if
Aggressive.
The shake, I couldn't shake
Well,
you.
no,
that,
but even if I put my hand on you, you smack it down. Don't touch me in anger.
Period.
Just say you can just communicate. Just don't touch me right now. I'm not in the space to be touched. We need to talk. You don't have to smack my hand down. All of that is unnecessary. So there are lines. There are like even in your relationship with the woman that you were having sex with and you called her out her name. She felt assaulted, which is why it was a record scratch for her. She was emotionally assaulted, which was a line that was a hard stop.
And verbally.
Yeah, but even if you had, like some people like to be choked, if you had choked her and she's not with that, that would have been that would have been a sexual line, a boundary that you crossed for her. Like this is not how I want to be touched. I like maybe a quickie doesn't mean rough to me. It just means fast. So things have to
I understand my role in my situation. I definitely do. I've learned from it. I've grown from it. And I was not a person at that time that I was that action at that point in time was not something that I was particularly proud of. I'm confident that I wouldn't do something like that today. I wouldn't even think that was a good idea. I could probably counsel somebody that did do it on, how not to do it and what some better approaches could be. So, I mean, in that instance, I had to grow from that because I couldn't stay in that space. And I couldn't allow that to happen and I not address it and at least try to get better.
I was talking to a friend maybe yesterday or the day before, and they're in a new relationship. And the girl kind of like flipped out a little bit. It's new. She flipped out. And the guy was just like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, where did this come from? And I told him, I said, this is like a pivotal point because how you go into it is how it's going to end up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if you allow for somebody to flip out early on, they're going to be flipping. They're going to be a Jesse White tumbler. Throughout your whole relationship, you have to, and maybe it is a conversation or maybe it's not. Maybe you just say, hey, I'm not with it. But if you are going to be, participating in this relationship, past that point, you need to have a hard conversation. Like, if this ever happens again, it's done.
I mean, it's tough when you give ultimatums, but...
I mean, you have to mean it. I mean, you have to have boundaries and agency over your own.
And so that's a good point.
Self.
And because when a boundary is crossed and you give ultimatums and you say that, you have to stand by it.
You have to stand on it.
If this happens again, I'm done. And you can't, because if it happens again and you're not done.
Right.
Right.
And then there's the respect anyway, because they're like, she'll put up with anything. Right.
One of the things about, as you all call me, being emotionally handicapped, is that I don't deal with something in an emotional realm. I'm not going to...
We know. We can't cry.
On your
I
shirt.
see you
On
all.
your shirt.
Those are not my words. Those are not my words. I don't want to have a discussion while you're crying. Let's.
When you're feeling better.
No, see, you're patronizing it. Like, I'm like, okay, when you get yourself together.
So finish your sentence because I don't want you to forget. You don't work in it.
I don't operate in that emotional space. It's just not.
Most guys don't.
It's not productive. It's not fair, because then if I break, I'm so glad you said. Come on now, y'all gonna look at me funny. Y'all gonna be different. I ain't gonna never be able to do nothing. I look up, y'all open the doors for me. No, we're not dealing like that. Let's talk. Let's talk when we are both, coming from a place. And I mean, I'm not gonna get loud with anybody. There's not gonna be any level of emotion. I'm gonna try to talk.
I don't like that. That's also
Yeah.
a line for me. Don't scream at me. Like anything, kind of like what you said, in anger, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be physical, but if you make me feel like I'm unsafe, and screaming does that. I don't like screaming. I don't like loud noises like that. I'm too jumpy.
Another trick that I had to correct myself from
Right.
was that I'm 6'3", so I can get big on you.
Right.
And that's I don't have to
You can
raise
get
my
bigger.
voice. Yeah, I
Right.
can get bigger. And when I do that, it's off putting. It's almost scary at times. And that's something that I had to learn, that I wasn't fighting fair.
Right. You can't be intimidating intentionally
Yeah.
to somebody who is smaller and who's physically
Right.
smaller and weaker than you.
Nobody needs to see you transform into the Hulk. Nobody needs to feel that way.
Not only that, but I mean, in a lot of cases, you're dealing with people that have been through some type of physical trauma.
Right.
And so that triggers them for past things. So
Right.
it was something that I had to learn. That was something that I was very proud that I was able to get better at. And it was pointed out to me by somebody, and I to this day I love this person with all my heart, because they pointed it out and they showed me how I did it, and they kind of made it a joke, which you all know goes over really well with me.
Yeah.
And I was better from that though.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Growth,
It
I-
is.
I had
Growth,
to. I
and
was-
growth is always good.
as you said it in the beginning, Yeah.
I had to though, because it was
That's good.
Well, you would probably be alone if you didn't. You can be scary. No woman wants to be scared.
Well, what you have to realize too is that, for a lot of things that you do, especially when you take advantage, most people are going to get their lick back in some way or another. So, and people are going to use.
That's just you. No, just kidding.
No, everybody's
I'm
going to
just
get their
kidding.
lick back.
I don't know about that. Really? You think?
Not in,
In some kind of way.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
perhaps.
going to pull away from you. Me getting my lick back is that we can't do this no more. That's a way of getting your lick back. Getting your lick back is not always, you hit me, I hit you. Me getting my lick back is that you got me, but I'm gonna watch you miss me. I'm gonna watch you.
No, I don't know. I don't know that. I mean, so that may be the side effect, but I think really, if you're pulling away and ending it, it's not necessarily to punish that person. It is to protect yourself. Now, that's not to say that you won't be missed, or you won't miss me, or things like that. But if you cross too many lines with me and I pull away, it is not about you. It is not me trying to punish you. It is about me trying to protect me.
But even in your phraseology, you're saying protect yourself. That goes to boxing with me. A boxer has to protect themselves at all times. When I say get my lick back, it's the same thing. Every lick is not a punch. Some, licks take on many different forms. And I honestly, in my heart, believe that most people get their lick back. Sometimes you're dead to me. That's me getting my lick back. You don't exist. I don't see you. You're invisible. So.
Yeah. What about this though? If you're the person who crossed the line, and you already believe it. You just said in your heart of hearts you believe somebody's going to get their lick back.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sleeping with one eye open or one ear always listening because you expect for that person to get their lick back if you all decided to stay and navigate this? Are you expecting that?
That's no way to live.
Well, you just said people are always going to get their lick back in some way, shape, or form. So I'm asking you, based on that, only that,
I mean,
are you expecting something down the line?
Everything has consequences. So clearly, if I'm saying, if I do something, there should be a part of it where I'm saying, okay, this could be a consequence of that action. So, but I'm not going to live in fear of that consequence, because if I did it, I didn't care that much anyway.
Well, I don't think you need to be in fear, but I mean,
But no,
just
but
an
I'm not.
expectation.
But I'm not sleeping with one eye open. I mean, if you get your lick back, you get your lick back. That's how stuff works.
See, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think that I would be in a relationship trying to plan in my head. Yeah, I'm gonna do this.
I definitely wouldn't.
I feel like I would rather bounce. I would rather
I'm not
leave.
vengeful.
Yeah,
I'm not vengeful.
I would rather put
I
my
don't live
energy
my
into
life
something that's fruitful.
living for revenge
Yeah.
and let me get you back. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just not
It-
messing with you.
I
'Cause I wanna
mean,
be happy.
you all are
Just
making
not.
it like, there's a PowerPoint presentation and we have a 9
Well,
a.m. briefing on it.
but you
know,
said-
these things work, your mind works
Well,
a certain way.
You spoke in absolute. That's the thing, and you said I'm standing on this. So when people tell me I'm standing on this, damn it, I believe you standing on
I
it.
believe that most people get their lick back. It may not be something that you consciously process, but I think that people, in some way or another, nobody wants, to be victimized is to be human. To remain a victim is a choice. I don't think that most people choose to remain a victim. It takes some people longer to overcome it. Some people never overcome it. But I think that in most cases, most people, if they were truly honest and and objective about who they are and what they do, they would be trying to get their lick back, or they would think that they would anyway.
To be victimized is to be human.
To be victimized, no, to be a victim is human. To remain a victim is a choice.
And a dumb one.
No, because I mean sometimes you
No, I'm rolling. I'm rolling with this one right here.
because,
Yeah, no.
because
Saying it is not
sometimes
smart.
you're not equipped to overcome what your adversary. Sometimes you don't necessarily have the tools. Sometimes it's not the right time and space. There are a lot of ways,
And
nobody.
it's still dumb. You don't have to be dumb forever, but that right there, it's not
So,
smart.
so what you're describing, I would have to agree. If it was a person in a domestic violence relationship, and she just didn't have the tools, she didn't have the mental capacity, she didn't have the financial wherewithal to leave. Yes, but if you're staying in a relationship with a mofo who just cannot stop dipping his dick in somebody else, and you still staying with him, that's dumb.
But it could be emotional abuse.
It's just dumb.
It could be me talking
It's still
down to
dumb.
somebody.
It's dumb. It's dumb and it's unsafe. Because I'm not going to stay with somebody who's constantly dipping his dick somewhere else because it's not sexually safe for me. So, and I've never.
Which is physically safe at some point.
Well, correct. That's what I meant by
I'm not,
sexually
I'm
safe.
not
so
going
it's not.
to sit here and characterize.
And it's not
somebody as
emotionally. It's not emotionally safe for me.
I'm
so, that's why I said it's dumb.
I'm not going to characterize somebody as that. I mean, there are lots of situations that people just don't have the tools.
People make dumb
Or-
mistakes doesn't make them a dumb person. They just make dumb choices. I've made dumb choices before, but
Yeah,
I'm by
who
far a
hasn't?
smart,
Who
brilliant
hasn't?
person. I'm the smartest person in the world. No.
You sound like President Trump. Bigly, I'm the smartest person. No one's ever smarter
Don't
than me.
hurt yourself there, though. I want you to throw your shoulder out. Oh, yeah. Janene.
But that
Janene
doesn't
for
mean-
president.
But no,
I didn't make dumb
There isn't a
choices
person
before.
alive who's not made a dumb mistake.
That's
who hasn't
right.
been stupid for love. Just it's always, everybody has made dumb ass mistakes.
Right.
But that's how you learn.
That is
and,
how you
and,
learn.
And if you've gone through life, my father used to say, if you go through life and you're able to say, I have no regrets about anything. Well, that's to say that
You've
you
never
think
tried.
you've never made any mistakes.
Absolutely.
What's
He's
wrong
right.
with you that you think you've never made any mistakes?
He was right.
He was right.
I just, I make a conscious effort not to weaponize that word in that situation. I don't, I think that, people make choices that I wouldn't make. I think that people make, choices that are not even smart. But I'm conscious of weaponizing that word in that situation.
What, dumb?
Yeah.
Stupid? Okay.
Yeah, dumb, stupid.
I'm sitting here. I'm
like,
holding my
which
tongue.
one? Which
I'm
one?
like, this man called the girl a bitch in the midst of sex because she wasn't moving.
That was crazy.
But I cannot weaponize dumb. But I'm digressing from that because that was a long time.
You
ago.
never digress. But
Point made though, right?
No, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect in any stretch of the imagination. I don't think that God is going to be getting any days off anytime soon as it relates to me. So within that, I'm trying to be better. And I mean, those are things that I make a conscious choice not to do.
Yeah. We're good.
And I had to because I was quick to call somebody stupid. I was quick to call somebody dumb. I was quick to,
Is it
characterize.
the person or the thing that they did?
Oh, I just was all over the board. I never missed an opportunity. I would call them stupid, it's stupid. I would take out ads on Billboard. I mean, I was horrible. you I was no good at that. So I had to get better, and it's been healthier for me. It's allowed me to be a little bit more empathetic.
Okay.
It's allowed me to say, well, rather than cast that person out, can I help that person,
Yeah.
or how can I help that person? And I had to because I was just rotten for a period of time.
So, just to kind of get a overall consensus here for you, you really don't have too many lines that can cross or be crossed, and it turn your relationship inside out,
No.
other than being late.
Being late, or if you had like a recreational meth habit or something, but other than that,
A recreational
yeah,
method.
I know that's I know there is no recreational meth habit, but if you had anything to do with meth, I'm done.
See, to me, you just thought of something that I didn't think about, but that is like on my, like,
Drugs.
you can't have had that in your life. You can't have had. I don't want any addictions like that because I feel like you're always an addict, and I don't want to like be living on the beach somewhere because you didn't blew all the money because you decided to smoke meth again.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but outside of being late and like I said, meth, I don't draw a lot of lines. I mean, I like people that like me, and they're a broad spectrum of them.
I just run around with chalk. That's right.
Marking your lines. These are my lines. The ones in red are my sexual lines. The ones in blue are my workout, my gym lines.
He's a nose breather. He's out of here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, well, what are your lines? What are your boundaries? Do you have any?
Has anyone ever crossed them and that you guys were able to like repair it, move past it, navigate through it? I'm really interested in like if they're like the ones that I have. I kind of really want to know how you got past them because I just really can't.
Or did you get past them?
And
Right.
give me some feedback. Are my numbers arbitrarily low? I mean, do I not have a high enough threshold of stuff that bothers me, or am I?
You just
kinda
can't be
normal?
late, guys.
That's it.
America, you can't be late with this one.
Hey, treat me like the mortgage.
So let us know your thoughts.
Pay me on time.
Let us know your thoughts. Drop your thoughts in the comments, please, and thank you.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys. Conversations Overheard at YouTube. We have 2 years under our belts. 2 years. This webcast has been going on for 2 years, and we have over 100 episodes. So if you're new to our channel, please go and explore. Listen to the past episodes. It's a lot there, a lot of information. It's a way for us to all learn together. We've never been this age before.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right.
Want to tell them about our in-person?
Go ahead.
Well, we are not having our in-person on the 26th of January. We just realized that the playoffs or whatever these football fans are doing, yeah, you guys are doing stuff, and we don't want to compete with that. So
Yeah.
we have postponed it. It will
Because-
be in February.
Because our topic is going to be so dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
we don't want people to miss it. We don't want to, quite frankly, we don't want it to be half-assed. We want you guys to come. We want you to give your thoughts, and we will announce the topic soon. But we're just right now, just in full transparency, squaring up the finalization on the venue.
You want to tell
The
them
date.
exactly what in-person is for our TikTokers who may not know.
Our in-person events is that once a month we get together, and we actually have the same format of show for the most part, but the difference being is that you all actually get to participate. One of the things from the creation of this show is that we've always felt that this was your show. So we give you an opportunity to chime in, and it's in real time. They're not taped, so you can feel comfortable expressing your views and your thoughts. And I mean, all too many times people will DM us later or send messages, and they want to say something or they want to participate. Well, you know what? Here's your big chance. Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you, and we love getting out, meeting our people. We love hearing your opinions, and you all actually
100%.
educate us in a lot of situations. You all motivate us to be better. You all give us different perspective, and we need you for that. So we would love to see you out at our next in-person.
Absolutely. So again, subscribe. Conversations Overheard at YouTube. And anything else?
That's it.
Like, share, comment, all that good stuff.
Tell a friend.
And for the TikTokers, TikTok is like going away. So we want you to tune in next week. I don't know if we'll be on this platform again, but definitely we'll be on YouTube. All right, guys. Good night and thank you.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
I don't know how to turn your TikTok on.
I think you figured it out. Or did you?
I didn't.
All right, he didn't figure it out. And because I've never done it before,